Bum ba dum bum bum. 107. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I wonder if anyone can hear me. I wanna be in that number. Oh, when the saints come marching in. And here we are, trying this the best we can. Alright. So I think we're good. Who knows? This is YouTube stuff. What happens if I tap this? Let's see, nobody's around, so I can mess around with stuff. Oh, baby. Let's see if we can do it this way a little bit more. Do. Holy smoke, somebody's awake. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, somebody's in here. A couple people. Hey, can anyone hear me? The reason I ask is I usually go through StreamYard, and I just wanted to try going through YouTube for once. So I'm not sure. Like when I use StreamYard, it gives you a mic check and everything, and with this YouTube, coming through YouTube, they don't seem to have that check before you come live. So I'm not sure. We're out here fishing for channel cats this morning. So if anyone could just, I don't know, say you could hear me or not, it'd be pretty cool. See what's this do down here? Nope. 7. Hey, Jay. There's really no current. This is kind of a real slow-moving piece of water here. So there's really no current to it. Thanks for coming in, because like I said, it's the first time I'm using YouTube. I always went through StreamYard, so I figured I'd give YouTube a chance here. Fishing for channel cats this morning at a place that I come to quite frequently. Last Saturday morning, I got an 18-pound, 18 1-ounce right here in this spot, which is unheard of. I think the biggest I ever got here before that was maybe 10. So jumping all the way up to 18 really surprised me. And of course you're not live, but it is. I was recording, you know, just I wasn't live, so I kind of made a short out of that, put it on my page, my channel. Then I wasn't sure, because I've been using StreamYard for a while, and then I heard like when you use YouTube, they kind of make you wait 24 hours, but I wasn't sure if that was going to pertain to me or not, since I was using the platform only through StreamYard. So it seems like this will work. So I'll probably go this route from now on. Jay, for bait on the starting from that pole there to left, on that one I have a chunk of pork on that. The middle rod actually has chicken gizzards, and the rod on the right has shrimp and just a little piece of bacon I topped it off with. We'll see what happens. It's still kind of cool here. I'm in New Jersey, so it's still kind of cool. As far as weather and water temps. Water temps are probably just now hitting 50, maybe a couple degrees over that. So just see something here. Mess around with this stuff here a little bit. See, that's pretty cool now. I was able to make you a mod. And with StreamYard, you can't do that while you're live. I'm hoping. I don't usually use chicken gizzards, actually, so I've been watching lives, you know. I listen to lives all day. Hey, what Pop's doing? Good morning, Pop. I watch lives I should say I listen to lives a lot in my work truck as I'm working, you know, and so like I listen, see what people are using for bait, and I'm like, chicken gizzards. I'm like, let me give them a try, you know. I was going to use chicken livers, but I didn't get that magic stream yet, that string that helps you hold it on. So I just went with the chicken gizzards because it holds on the hook better. So we'll see what happens. I haven't been really killing them here on average, because it's still kind of early. But I can usually pick up one or two, you know, for the attempt of trying to come out. And I figure I'd go live a little early. I don't plan on staying on long because I know there's going to be a lot of lives going today. So a lot of times I'll be live at like 2 o'clock in the morning, kind of more like the Insomniac crew. So it's all good. Yeah, I saw you can tie them on with fishing line, Pop, but what they also have too is that magic string, they call it. It's like that elastic string. Any Fins uses it. A lot of guys use it. I used to be a big like salmon and trout fisherman, so I used to tie my own egg sacks. And then I thought, I'll get the little mesh bags and do all of that. And I'm like, geez, you know, kind of gets to be a little bit of work when there's so many other bait options, especially for channel cats. You know, I find that they'll eat just about anything here. I was shocked at that fish last week. You know, it was actually the biggest channel cat I ever saw in person. You know, New Jersey doesn't grow them all that big. We'll see what happens. The old saying, right? You don't know until you throw. Oh, Jay, you're in Virginia? That's gotta be you. You're in blue cat country. We don't have the blue cats here. And even our flathead population's pretty limited. Maryland. Hey, I fish Maryland. I'll usually go down there. Once it gets just a little warmer, I'll start doing trips down to Maryland. I like to fish that Chesapeake, Delaware canal there. You know, kind of around like Chesapeake City and in there. And I'll find a spot I can set up and I get my blue cat fishing in down there, you know. I'll fish there or I'll fish the lower Susquehanna. All that's about 2 hours from from me as far as a ride. To go down to DC to fish the Potomac, it's more like almost a 3.5 hour ride. That's a long day. I've done it a few times, and it's a long ride home after fishing all day. Well, this is good. This go on YouTube. I think it's going to be the route I'm going to go in the future. But StreamYard, they said, oh, you have to wait till after the stream to make people mods. And then after the stream, a lot of times the chat would be gone. And on a few occasions, it was actually still there. Oop, there we go. Oh. That was the rod on the left, and that was the piece of pork on there. I'm just gonna let it sit. Just hoping he didn't get that off of there. Let's see, give it another couple minutes. Nope, first rod is the pork. Second rod is the gizzards. Third rod to the right is the shrimp. Call it pulled pork, huh? Right? Technically. He pulled on it, so now it's pulled pork. That's bad humor, I know. But at least that's a sign of life, so that's good. I'm just wondering if he popped that off is all. The Mad Cats I'm using are the medium light version of them. You know, they don't make them anymore. The medium lights, they kind of did away with making those, but they're good for up here because, you know, like I said, the catfish really aren't that big. You know, you don't need a medium heavy or a heavy for the kind of fish that I'm catching. I'm gonna check that rod now because it's gonna have me wondering. Should have left it. It was fine. Skeeter stick, what's going on this morning? Yeah, I wish. We just had a hit on that rod that I just threw back out, John. I did, John. No, last week I was recording. You know, I was just recording for the sake of recording. And I wasn't live last week. But that's how it always happens. Oh, you waiting for the crappie to move in, Pop? Yep. Half Century, what's up? We just had a hit on the left pole, Half Century. It was a piece of pork. Well, you can call it pork, but I'm not proud there, Half Century. I'm going to tell you it's a pork hot dog. So, but we have the rod on the left has, you know, the pork on it. The middle rod has chicken gizzards, and the rod on the right has shrimp. The big one I got last week was on shrimp. I went live early, half century, so I could, I try to get my live in before J Dog wakes up and comes in and harasses me. But half century, I'm going on a YouTube platform this morning. It's about the only reason I kind of went live today was I've been using StreamYard to come in just because that's the way I started with it, and it was real hard to make people a mod. It was like you can't do it while you're live, and if you go back to your chat after the stream ends, a lot of time the chat's not there, or it's a partial chat. There's only a few. I don't know if you only get so much, so I wasn't able to mod the people I was always looking to mod, and so I decided to try going just through YouTube, and I've tried it this morning with the few that came in early. Jay and What's Pops Doing came in, and it was pretty cool. I was able to mod right then and there. So, but I just figured I'd come in early to kind of test this out, and I know there's going to be a lot of lives going today, so there's going to be a lot for people to choose. I'm usually more at night or early morning myself. So actually, so far at YouTube, yeah, I do like it. I like the way the chat comes up over your view, like over what you guys are seeing. My chat, I see the same thing, and my chat's going. Well, I was like old Steve. I was like old Coach. I was just using the free plan. I didn't go live near enough to go over the hours, where I would be required to purchase something, But so we'll go with this. 50 Cent still my favorite YouTuber is Coach. Always will be. I always liked him because you would watch his stuff, and besides all that history stuff, he never was like, make sure you hit, like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. He just went out and fished, and that's all I'm looking to do. And I'm never going to quit my day job doing this, that's for sure. Yeah, you like that, Pop? And then it's actually a lot easier. Like when you go into StreamYard, you have to, like, at least I did, I would have to, sign into StreamYard. They would have to send me a code. I'd have to enter the code. Then I would have to go through, like, the mic check and all of that. And then, you'd go live. So I wasn't sure when I went live here this morning with YouTube. It didn't give you like that mic check, so I wasn't sure if the mic came on or if I had to turn it on or anything like that. But it was really just push the button and you're live. And then I also heard too, like the first time you use YouTube, they make you wait 24 hours. So I wasn't sure if that applied to me since I never went through YouTube. I was just going through StreamYard. So I said, all right, let me see, because if it's going to make me wait 24 hours, then I would have just hit the attempt today, and then I'd be good for tomorrow or somewhere down the road. I mean, it's not bad, StreamYard, If this didn't come out to be as easy as it was, I would have been fine with StreamYard. But I probably, in a couple of years' time, would have to get a plan, because the whole reason I'm actually messing with this is getting ready for when I retire. I got 2 more years till I retire, and what I'm doing right here now is my retirement plan. So Oh, no kidding. Maybe it's the water here, half century. Actually, I can't believe it. I'm sitting out here and I have a light Carhartt jacket on, and it's still chilly. So you might hear that in my voice. I don't know. When I hit 59, all of a sudden the cold creeps in a little easier. Yeah, it's probably just the sound of the voice, 50 Cent. I mean, we don't have accents up north. That's one of them guys down south. Let's see. Geese are starting to wake up. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So, like, when I end this stream, I won't really be able to watch it for like 24 hours unless I go through the YouTube studio. Right. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever really watched a live after it was over. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I dabbled with this a little bit, and I had some lives, and I deleted them, off my channel, and I just leave them now. Oh, that's all right. So if I really wanted to see something, I could just go through my wife's phone or something and see it. That's cool. Yeah. Come on, fishy, fishy. I got all excited with that bite. It was a good bite. I just missed it. I'm using 6/0 circle hooks too. No, I never targeted muskie. Like, I never went out. We have them here. Walleye, I catch as a byproduct almost, bycatch. Like I got a spot not too far from my house. It's like a canal, and there's a lock there, and if I fish in the lock, often at night, I'll get a walleye. Wow, it got taken out by a hacker, huh? The old channel. Yeah. Well, you know what? If you're really looking to be a YouTuber, like a lot of the people in the community are, that's gotta hurt, you know. Something like that happened to me, I would just be like, okay, I won't go live, or I won't mess around with YouTube for a while. Just go about my way. It's getting to be a livelihood for some people. The hackers really screw everything up. But I go online now more than I used to because I kind of gave up television. Gave it up a few years back. It's not like the major networks are running anything on catfishing anyway, so. $250 subs by summer? Well, that's fine. Well, drop your link. You can drop your link here, Pop. I have no problem with that. I mean, there's only 7 people in chat right now, but still, anytime you guys want to, drop your links, go right ahead. That's why I kind of like mod everyone up, in the beginning, and then that way you could see each other's channels. There you go. So, Pop, I said it. Oop, there's another rod again. That was just a love tap. I'm going to leave it out there. Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, see, that was another question I had with YouTube. With StreamYard, I was always horizontal. And I thought you had to be vertical with YouTube. So that's the only reason I'm vertical right now. It's the first time I ever went vertical too, so I wonder do you know if you can go horizontal with YouTube? I don't know, half century. But that's the second bite I got on that rod. So we'll see what happens. I might be switching baits over on the other rods. There we go, half century. Not a little bad kitty, half century. How you like that one? Boom, 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 boom. There you go. There you go, half century. We're on the board. Get my glasses off so I can see better. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Good morning, everybody. That's what they look like. John Parker, if you're awake, this is what they look like, sir. Boom, 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 boom. We got another piece of bait on me. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Well, save the skunk. That's right. I think I need to back up better with this maybe so you could see more. Maybe we'll try that. Let me move back. Boom, 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 boom. Hang on, don't get dizzy. There we go. That might be better. I forgot what I was chatting about. All right. So we'll see. But Pop, I noticed before when you dropped your link, it was in blue for me here, kind of like how the mods are. So I don't know. We're a little crooked here too, aren't we? That's better. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see something. 50 Cent, I'm getting like Steve, like old Coach, when he'd be messing around with his camera. Next thing you know, live is over. No. See what happens. I think Fisher with Steve's going to be on this morning too. I think NJ Maniac will be on. Like I said, a lot of people will be on. I usually try to come on early and get off before all that starts. Maybe see something. Maybe swing that view. Let's see. Bear with me. I'm going to try a different view here. I think that's better. Go with that. Yeah, he did a double live yesterday, right? He was up yesterday morning, and I think he got 4. And then Anyfins came up. I believe he got 4 also. They fished the same area there. And then Steve was live again last night. I didn't catch him last night because I was told when I got home from work yesterday we needed to go furniture shopping. So off I went. Got to keep the missus happy so that you can get up and do these things. It's not like I had any real input anyway, so. Should be better. I think this is better. Gives you a little more view. Oh, look at that. Again. This guy still has a lot of his spots on, like a young gun. I don't know if you can see them. Still pretty well spotted up. It's on the other side. I still got a lot of his spots. I hope I'm in camera. Alrighty. They do. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, man. They like them hot dogs here. Thinking about switching another rod over to them. So. Oh yeah, I watch Justin from Thunderstruck. Yes, I watch Skeeter too. Skeeter cracks me up. He's a good guy. And gosh, there's a lot of them. A lot of them I listen to during the day. But Steve's one of my favorites. I just, he's just a likable guy, Just goes out there, fishes, gives you a pole, tells you what color you are, and that's it. It gets hard sometimes, you start following a lot of people, and everyone's going live in one shot. You're like, who do you pick? So you kind of drop in to support everyone, and but you're just going to gravitate to the ones you like the best. But whenever I see anyone come in live, I usually like to go in, say hello, hit the thumbs up for them, and go about my way. Who did I miss? Did I miss someone here? Oh, good morning, Nate. Sorry you scrolled up on me there. I almost missed you. Thanks for coming in. We're just sitting out here. Really, for the most part, checking out this YouTube platform as far as going live. But yeah, I'm thinking, Pop, it's time to change another rod over to Go Hot Dog, because that seems to be what they want this morning. I'm glad I took them. I almost didn't. I was like, come on, no self-respecting catfish. I'm just going to just go out there with a package of hot dogs like a 5-year-old. Yeah, but that's what's worked. Yeah, it's kind of like Anyfin, his channel. There's no telling what he's going to go for, so that's why he named it Anyfin, I'm pretty just one-dimensional. Just catfishing. Gotta switch another rod to that. I bet they did. I bet they did. Pretty sure they'll go for anything. Oh, the gummy worm on the cart. Funny, somebody had mentioned that. Maybe it was you in one of the other lives. And I had said that my father, years ago, we were out there trout fishing. You know, and there's just states, you know, the state stocks them every spring, so they pretty much, you know, hit anything. But my dad, yeah, took a gummy worm out of his pocket. He had a little bag of them, and he put it on a hook as a joke. He cast it out there, and he got like, I don't know, 17-inch rainbow on that gummy worm. So every time he went fishing, he was always slinging his gummy worms out there. And I've heard about the WD-40 oil. The sun's coming up. It's getting light out. Wind's down. Yesterday the winds were crazy. I wouldn't even... Oh, there we go again on that pull on the left. Feels like a small one. I don't know if it's still there. That's a bullhead. Oh, I don't want to see these. These I don't like. Hate seeing these when I'm channel catfishing, but I'll tell you what, I wish I was going flathead fishing tonight. I wish the weather was warmer because that's where he'd end up. He'd end up with some flathead bait. Tell you what, the fish here are healthy though. I was suspect of that one right away. There was no weight to it. I don't usually catch bullhead here. Let's see what happens. All right, Jay, have a good night. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that and helping me out this morning. Being in my ears. So you have a good sleep and see you next time around. See, 45 minutes. We've been out here, so I'm time to change that bait on that last rod. I haven't touched it since I threw it out. So 2 channels and a bullhead so far. Not bad. No skunk. I just gotta wait for a bigger one. Are you fishing this weekend, Pop, or? Turn this just a little bit. There we go. I hear you. We had some ice and snow come in at the beginning of the year, like January. I got out January 1st and actually fished right here. And I got a channel, so it was nice. First channel cat of the year, first fish of the year. And then we had some real cold weather come in like everyone else. And so that was my time, you know, for like about the next 5 weeks in January into like late February. I got all my stuff done around the house. So. Oh, did you get anything good magnet hunting? Good morning, Yord. I watch videos on that on YouTube, you know. Guys slinging them things off the bridge and stuff. You ever get it like stuck on anything to where you can't pull it in? Yeah, I'm at the same spot as I was last week. Because actually it's been doing quite well for me, you know. I wasn't live last week, Yord. I think it was the week before that. Last week I wasn't live here, I don't believe. Oh, I was. That was Saturday. I came back Saturday night, Yord, and I got an 18-pound, 1-ounce channel cat here. It was 4:30 in the morning, and of course I wasn't live. But I did get video, and I made a short out of it on my channel. So, yeah, I was wondering, because I'm like, if you get stuck, because those magnets aren't cheap, I don't believe, you know, the good ones. So I was just, you know, wondering, I'm like, I didn't know if there was a trick to the trade, you know. Let's see, Yord, hold on, Yord. There you go, Yord. There's a stand. All right, there you go. Well, Yord, I appreciate you coming back. Coming back and visiting the channel again. Yeah, $140. Yeah, that's a cheap one, right? Yeah. And that would be my luck, to sling that out and have it land on an old school bus underneath the water, and I wouldn't be able to get it off. Something big like that, you know. What's like, in your opinion, what's the coolest thing you ever found doing that magnet? There was Steve Adams, who also used to catfish on the banks of the Mississippi. That was his other hobby that he had, was metal detecting. And he found a lot of Civil War era stuff down his way. And he showed me some, really cool things that he found over the years. Kind of lose the rod tips now with the sun coming up. I'll be right back. I just got to go run, and I think I hear something in the bushes. I'll be right back. All right, man, I'm back. Tell you what, it's still chilly here in the morning. Thank God for coffee. Just some pieces of fence. I'll tell you what, that magnet fishing would probably be pretty interesting in my parts. You know, probably all kinds of stuff thrown over our bridges here. Hey, Dan, thank you. We got two so far. You know, two channel cats and a spunky little bullhead. But yeah, we got two channel cats. So the skunk's off. Any day catching a fish is a good day, so we're all good. It's more like a cove, Pop. There's a stream that comes into it, and it kind of like a cove, and it goes back out. And it's I like it here because it's kind of you don't really see it now because the leaves aren't out, but all back there all green up nice. And coming here in the morning like I do, it's quiet. It's actually in a populated area. It's actually a small little thing behind a stream that comes in back behind a bunch of warehouses. Basically, I'm in the back of like an industrial complex. And I mean, like my Jeep is parked just right behind me, you know, which is good. I like this spot this time of year because if you get cold, I can just go sit in the Jeep and get out of the, especially when it's windy. I can sit in the Jeep and watch the rods. It's usually my spot. Like I'll come here from January till probably a few more weeks. Once the flatheads really get going, and then I'll start going after the flatheads. And for that, I travel a little bit. I go into Pennsylvania and fish the Schuylkill River for the flatheads. This is just a nice place to come early on in the year. Like I've recently switched everything, my gear from spinning to conventional, bait casters. I used spinning my whole life, and then a few, I was eyeing it up. I'm like, I don't know, I'll make a mess out of out of a bait caster and stuff. But I kind of watched some YouTube videos. I kind of had to set up the like the tension and all of that, and I picked up some cheaper ones. I got the Piscifun reels. I said that way if I don't like them or can't adjust to them, I don't have a lot of money in reels put out. And I really like it though. I don't think I'll go back to, I don't see me using spinning anymore. South of the Susquehanna Dam. Is that like around Port Deposit? You're talking, as far as south of the dam, you're talking at, what's that, the Conowingo or however you pronounce that? Yep. Because I did a couple trips to Port Deposit, that area there for blue cats in the wintertime. Really didn't have much luck because I think I just went at the wrong time of year. But I noticed that what they're doing, they want to get the blue cats out of there. I guess about maybe a month and a half ago, I was down there, and I noticed they had like commercial fishermen in there, and they were looked to me like they were long line, like they had these long lines, and they were setting them out for the blue cats. And I was there for the day, so I watched them go out early in the morning, lay them all down, and they sat on the side. And then a little while later, they went back and picked them up, and they were just pulling catfish off them. I guess they really want them out. Yeah, see, like Port Deposit for me it's a 2-hour ride from my house. The thing I like about that though is when I go down there on the way home, there's a Waffle House. We don't have Waffle Houses around me. So it's like, even getting skunked down there, there's always Waffle House to cheer you up on the ride home. The shad run. And I guess the stripers will be all up in there soon too. Real soon, I figure, if they're not in there already. give you a little better view like where I'm at here. You see that middle rod? Did you see that middle rod just now? Guess what I put on there. He hit that so hard he dropped it. I'm gonna have to check that one. But I was just about ready to turn the camera to show you how it goes way back in there. Comes in way back there, kind of comes this way. And goes out that way. I gotta check that rod. That was a hard hit. Hey, Jody, what's going on? Good morning. Whew. Welcome to the early morning coffee clutch. Jody, you gonna go back to sleep? Okay. But just real quick, the reason I'm live is I finally decided to try the YouTube, stream through YouTube instead of StreamYard. So I was like, yeah, let me come out here early. Well, I'm normally out here this time I fish, but let me go live early and see how that works for me. But I like it a lot because now I could just mod as I'm going, and whereas StreamYard was a pain. But we got 2 channel cats already earlier, and a little bullhead, which, you know, if I don't need them for flathead fishing, I don't want to see a bullhead. But and we missed a few good hits too, so. It is. I like that picture. I might have to screen shoot this later, and I'm thinking the sun just might come up there too. Once the green's up in the summer, it's you know, you don't have that. But it is a beautiful morning. Reminds me, Jody, of when Coach used to fish on the Mississippi, and he used to get those sunsets out there before he'd go. You know, he had some incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Make that a thumbnail. What's the matter? What's the matter, 50 Cent? Why are you sniffing? Like I said, if it was about 5 degrees warmer, it would be real nice. It's still. Are you feeling better, Jody? Are you all over it with that bug that you had? Let me see, Wild Man. Let me see. Add as a moderator. There you go, Wild Man. Wrenched you up. kind of like modding everybody up because it makes it so much easier if you're a mod to go and look and check out other people's channels. Oh no, pneumonia. Jody, did I hear yesterday or something? I thought I heard somebody mention something about your heart. I hope not. Ugh. I don't wish that on anybody. A couple scares myself. I think you probably heard of my other lives in the past, so I won't really go over it all that much. But when I went for my hip replacement 2 years ago, I flatlined on the table. And then, after that, they did all that, the $1 million heart checkup on me and everything. Jody broke my heart. Come on, Half Century. I got the $1 million workup and they said everything was good. But then I went for a calcium score. He's like, let's do a calcium score. I'm like, fine. And then now they tell me that I have an aneurysm on my aorta. So, it's always something. It's always something. But they said it's at that level where all they have to do is monitor it for a while and see what's going on with it. But I hope everything works out for you, Jody. Oh, there you go. I had some geese, and geese just did the flyover. That's the thumbnail I need, Jody. Let's see if I can get that later. I'm still waiting on 50 Cent or Half Century to write his book. I want to know all about his years as a commercial fisherman. I got a feeling that's pretty interesting. And also on the YouTube platform, I like the way the chat is, how it rolls over your screen, as opposed to StreamYard, where you have like half of your view and then the other half is a white field with the chat on it. Right, old man? I think it would be a good book. He needs to write a book, and so does Steve Adams. Yeah, Jody. I don't know if you noticed, Jody, but I was once like 317 pounds 4 years ago, and I didn't have any health issues or anything like that. I didn't have any problems with sugar. I mean, cholesterol like everybody else, and I was on blood pressure medicine, but I'm 60 years old, and I just one day went to the doctor, and they said, all right, step up on the scale. And I stepped up on the scale, and I hadn't done so in a while. And I was like, into the threes. And I was like, holy moly, And it was right then and there, I just stepped off the scale. And it was a young nurse. He was not young nurse, a young doctor, actually. We had switched doctors. My doctor retired. And I got off the scale and I looked at her, and I'm like, really? I'm that much, She goes, well, with COVID and everything, I was like, really? I'm like, I just never saw myself that big, and so I looked at her and I said, you know what? Next time you see me, I said, you won't recognize me. And she kind of like giggled it off, like she didn't believe me, or she probably hears it all the time. And we left, and I told my wife, I'm like, I got to do something, because I'm healthy. There's nothing wrong with me. I said, I need to do this before stuff like that starts to happen. So I went home and I got a buffalo pizza. I kid you not. And I ate the pizza, the whole pizza, right? And then I said, okay, that was it. And I didn't go on any diet, any real diet. There's nothing I couldn't eat. I just had this mentality in me. I'm like, all right, if I eat half, just eat half of what I'm eating now, you know, same foods, but if I just eat half, I should weigh half, and that was in my brain, So I thought I'd give myself a year, and I marked it on the calendar. I said in the year I want to try to lose 100 pounds, and so I just started eating half, and I never did eat breakfast, which I never did before. So, I didn't have breakfast. At lunchtime, instead of having like a sandwich, a regular sandwich, I would only have half a sandwich. I would actually go into, like, we have a store here called Wegmans. It's a food store, and you could buy, you could pick up lunch there. They have pre-made sandwiches and stuff. And they also had like half sandwiches. So I would, wait till lunch. I'd go in and get a half a sandwich if I didn't make a half sandwich at home or anything. And I'd just get the half sandwich and I'd eat it, and I wouldn't eat again till dinner. No snacks, nothing in between, I just drank some water and, coffee, whatever. And dinner time, I ate whatever my wife made, like always. And I just have one plate, just one plate of food. I never went back for seconds or anything like that. And then after dinner, at night around 7 o'clock, I would make either like a small package of oatmeal or some dried fruit, just something small, I think I figured it out. Maybe it was, I didn't even really count calories all, except for that night snack. I kept it around like 200 calories. And then I just repeat the thing the next day. Now, on Saturday I called it my cheat day. On Saturday, I would get a bacon, egg, and cheese for breakfast, Maybe we go to lunch or something, and I wouldn't have the half sandwich on Saturday. I would just get lunch. Like if we went to one of my favorites here, we have a place at Seafoods called Surf Taco. And I would just, I would eat normal on Saturday, 3 meals, and that was it. And then I just go back to my regime again for the, until the following Saturday. In the beginning, I think I was averaging about 4 to 5 pounds a week. And a year later, I had lost over 100 pounds, actually. A year to the date, I had dropped. I went from 317 down to 196. And like I said, there was nothing I ever said I couldn't have. It was just how much. And it got me there. Hey, Danny, what's going on this morning, sir? Good morning, everyone. No time to chat. Run into the river for a tournament. Yeah, I figured everyone's going to be going live. So I probably won't be on here much longer. Because I figured, everyone's going to go check out the real fishermen, and myself included. But thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. Yeah, see, Jody, that's one thing I didn't do. Ever since, like I said before, I'm 60 now. But ever since I was like 20 in my in the Army, I always drank diet soda, which they say is horrible for you too. But I was always a big Diet Coke fan, and so that didn't come into play, the regular soda. Regular soda, for some reason, the sugar in it would give me headaches. And Diet Coke didn't do that. Yeah, 2 pounds a week, that's good. But to be honest with you though, at 196, I really look bad because I'm 6 foot. I looked skinny, and the weight loss actually made me look much older because of the skin and under the chin, everything just kind of. And I never did have anything to reduce. I was lucky. My abdomen section didn't really get super flabby like you see. A lot of people who lose a lot of weight. And I attribute that to maybe that it wasn't a fast weight loss. Like if you would have gotten good morning, Uncle Lou. Like if you would have gotten I guess bypass or whatever that is, And, but I ended up deciding, to put a little weight back on. So I came back up to 220. I'm 6 foot 220. And with that, working out in the gym and everything. So kind of happy where I'm at now. And it's been about 4 years now that I've managed to keep the weight off. Look at Skeeter Stick telling everyone to hit that like button. John, I don't worry about that so much. To me, like, I'm always amazed if at the end of the stream I look up and I have like 20 likes. I'm like, wow, that's a lot for me. Okay, James just went live, Jody. I see James just went live. There you go. Wildman, who did you like and subscribe to? Just curious. They're all good people in here. Pontoon Jody, Uncle Lou, Half Century, Danny Stone. They're all like professional fishermen. I don't know, it got light out and the bite stopped. That's why I always make sure I get out here early. Yeah, that's what I would do. No need for a new one, Jody. Find what you like, at Bass Pro, and then go looking. No, 4 feet? No, I don't think so. Especially since it's not like it's your first time towing, Difference of 4 feet's nothing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gotta have a 16-foot John that I tow behind my my Jeep when I take that out, and going through the McDonald's drive-thru is a little tight. But you know what? That's just part of me being like, hey, look what I could do, because I could have just easily parked in the parking lot and walked in, and maybe get the extra 80 steps for the day. Jody, is James in the tournament too? Or is he just out fishing? I know, because I saw Danny said he was doing a tournament today. I was just curious. Oh, okay. I'll probably end this then pretty soon here and link up on somebody out there. Watch James out there and Dan, jump around. Try to give everyone a little support. Oh, wow, man, you're going to like Jody's channel. You wait till she starts going after those flatheads. And she could cook too, Wild Man. Where do you see some of her cooking videos? She's kind of like, professional cat woman and also a and part-time chef. Ain't that right, Jody? I do the same thing, Pop. I go around and try to, only takes a second to stop in on someone's channel, say hello, you know, give them a thumbs up and be on your way if you have to. Boy, I thought the sun was going to come up and be a nice sunrise, but I guess not. That sky got real red in the background, and then it just kind of petered out. Oh, that's cool, Jody. I guess it's got to be a lot, to do that stuff, to have a regular scheduled show and sometimes, you just want to, it takes the fun out of everything, I would imagine. Even even small scale, like me, I'll come out and I'll be like, do I go live? If I go live, is it, some people come in, but you're like, then I got to work, you're like, do I just want to sit and fish? It's still that, I don't know, I guess when you first begin, is you just, you're like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. You know what I find too, Wild Man? When you subscribe to someone, this is just me. I always found it good, like, if I subscribe to someone and I leave a comment on, like, their latest video or something. I heard a rumor that sometimes if you go around subscribing to people, I don't know if it's true or not. If you go around subscribing to people, if you don't leave a comment, that sometimes they take that subscriber thing away. I don't know for sure, but I just heard it. But I always like to leave a comment because if people say someone subscribes to me and don't leave a comment, I see that, I got a new subscriber, but I don't know who it was. So if you leave a comment, then I usually, you'll get a notification that so-and-so commented, and that they subbed, and then you can go back to their channel and reciprocate. Yeah, Pop, that happens here, It seems all my best bites here so far this year have been early. Actually, before, like, first light. In the past, it's always been good. Oh, that right rod just went. He took a pull on that right rod. In the past, it's usually good up until about 10. And then usually 10 o'clock, I'm out of here because it just drops down. I just saw that, hey, Curtis, good morning. I just saw that right rod get a pull. And that's the only rod that still has a shrimp on it. Ain't gonna lie, the other two, all the bites have come on a chunk of hot dog, so that's what we're rolling with. Oh, they will pull yeah, that's what I had a feeling was going on. They pull the subs if you don't leave a comment. All right, Jody, I'll catch you on James Live. I'll see you over there. I'll be over there in a little bit. So, yeah, they do. I've noticed that because, wow, man, if I'm in someone's live and all of a sudden you're talking to different people and then you have 5 people say, I just subbed to you. I've noticed that if they don't leave a comment, I'll have those 5 subs, but then the next day they're gone. So YouTube pulls them back. I think you got to leave that comment. You know, I'm not 100% sure, but I did notice that. So, Curtis, what are you doing this morning? You know, I like to go live pretty much when everyone's sleeping, so I don't get a huge viewership. Usually by the time I'm jumping down off live is when people are just waking up. I'm gonna check that right rod. Ugh. This guy's acting weird. I think he's tangled. I got him lassoed. There we go. Hey, that old belly. Circle it's around my finger. Pretty little kitty. That's about the average I'll get here. Sometimes smaller, sometimes larger. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hate to tell you, that was on hot dog too. That's three on hot dog. Free on hot dog, nothing on shrimp, nothing on chicken gizzards, nothing on bacon. Ballpark, chicken and pork, not for dinner anymore. Catfish food. Ballpark, if you want to sponsor me, just, well, my info's in the bio. Thank you. I believe 1 out of every 10 catfishermen prefer hot dog. Probably the best part about fishing with hot dogs is you don't catch any fish. You still eat. Oh, you're welcome, Wild Man. Yeah, it's something I heard, and I started noticing myself about that comment. If you don't drop the comment, if that's what you're talking about. I used to use hot dogs for bullhead. Yep. Yeah, that kind of, he had a little belly to him. So was that big one I caught last week. He was 18 pounds. Like, I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. So I usually don't fish with hot dogs. Thank God I got to bring them today. Usually I use, which I didn't bring any today. I like to use eel. You know, I'll cut the eel up into chunks. And I'll fish that. But the 18 pounder I got last week was actually on a piece of shrimp. Well, go figure. I just noticed another advantage of using YouTube, going live over as opposed to StreamYard. So when I use StreamYard on my phone, I can't see the time, and I can't see the time. With YouTube, I still have time displayed. So it's 7:20 in the morning. I ain't gonna lie, I got a little chill in me, man. I'm chilly. Yeah, eels is a good bait. And I can get it pretty easy here, even in the wintertime. We have those Asian fish markets here. 620 in Wisconsin. Dan, your channel cats get big out there, right? Like it's nothing for you guys to get 20, 30-pound channel cats. But anyway, we have these Asian fish markets here, and a lot of times you go in there, they have live eel, and they're big. They're like, God, almost 3 feet long, and about as thick as like a pepperoni stick or something, So I'll buy those and vacuum seal them, and I have them all winter. During the summer, we could catch them, But I really got into using them more so for the flatheads and the when I do travel to go for the blue cats. I like using eel. It just stays on the hook. Even if even here, like if I fish eel and you get these little hits and stuff, you don't really have to worry about checking your bait because that eel's not coming off. Hey, Bloodshed, good morning, sir. Thanks for coming in. Hold on a second there. Let me give you a wrench. There you go. Steve, Bloodshed, you follow Steve, right? Is that where I picked you up on? Hey, Pop. All right, thanks so much, man. Thanks for coming in. You pretty much kept me company all morning here. Not a lot of people come in at the time that I usually go live, so I appreciate it. See you next time, and I'll keep an eye out for on your channel for you. Bloodshed, was it Steve? Fishing with Steve down there on the Schuylkill? I think he might go live today too. Bloodshed, we got 3 so far this morning. Oop, there's another bite. Yep, Steve. I love his channel. I really do. I just recently came across Steve, probably within the last week or two, you know? Tell you what, we got three channels. Had a little bullhead that made an appearance here too. And we missed a few hits, so not too bad. My first flathead was in the Schuylkill in 2019, and it was 8 pounds was my first, which was good though, because you know you're all happy because it's your first, and it wasn't like a huge monster, so you didn't get spoiled right away. But now my biggest to date, you know, is 41. That came out of the Schuylkill also. You know what? All these hits and the fish that I caught so far today has been on hot dog chunks. So that last rod has eel. I think I'm just gonna switch it over. Yeah, why not? If something's working, there's no pride. You use it. The Mississippi. Never fished it. There was a YouTuber, Steve Adams. Everyone knows him as Coach. He his channel was basically bank fishing on the Mississippi. It was pretty cool. One day, hope to. I'd be lost though, you know, if I ever did go down there, unless somebody took me under their wing. I wouldn't know where to go, or you know, basically would just show up and throw lines out. But basically, all my fishing, for the most part, it's channel cats. I used to get out like about once a week. You know, probably starting soon. You know, just waiting for the Schuylkill to get a little warmer. Um, I used to do like the once a week trip down to the river there for my flathead fishing. But anything local nearby my house, within an hour's drive is all channel cats. There is a little river canal by my house that does have some flatheads in them, but kind of few and far between. Yep, different channels and places to fish. Never been to the Everglades either. But I think I'm going to wrap this up, only because there's a lot of people going live. And I've accomplished what I wanted to do here today. I just wanted to check out going live using the YouTube platform. So I just appreciate everybody coming in. I mean, there's always something better to do, probably, than sit here and watch me fish. But no, I do appreciate everyone coming in, and you stay well, everyone. Go out there, catch them up, and I'll catch you on the other lives. I'll be around. All right, guys. Thanks again. Take care. I wonder how you. Hey, now the next thing is, how do you end the stream? I see there's an X. Hey, it's a learning curve. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good day.